The first principle, responsibility over sympathy, is perhaps the most life-changing realization anyone can embrace. We live in a world where many people are silently waiting to be rescued, waiting for someone to notice their struggles, applaud their efforts, or offer a helping hand. But the hard truth is this: no one is obligated to care. And the sooner you accept that, the stronger and more self-reliant you become. Taking full responsibility for your life means no longer leaning on sympathy or hoping someone else will understand your pain enough to lift you out of it. It means becoming your own answer. When you blame others for your lack of progress or expect the world to support you emotionally every time you fall, you give away your power. When you shift your mindset and declare, "I will carry this burden myself," everything changes. You stop negotiating with weakness and start committing to strength. Life will always present obstacles, loss, failure, rejection, but none of these have the right to define you unless you allow them to. Responsibility means owning your reactions, your attitude, and your outcomes. It's not about guilt or shame, it's about power. There's no denying that support from others can be valuable. It should never be your foundation. Foundations must be immovable, and the only unshakable foundation you can ever rely on is built from your own discipline and self-leadership. Others can walk with you, but only you can climb the mountain. People may cheer for you, but only you can take the steps. And when no one is around, running through the park, when the lights go off and the noise fades, it's your inner voice that must push you forward. Those who constantly seek sympathy are unknowingly choosing weakness. They're stuck in a cycle of needing to be noticed before they can move forward. But growth does not happen in applause. It happens in silence. It happens when you push through the doubt, when you choose action over excuses, when you say, "I will not wait for someone to care. I care enough about myself to rise." This mindset breeds resilience. The moment you stop expecting sympathy, you unlock a new kind of freedom. You begin to build a life where your energy isn't spent explaining your pain, but transforming it. Responsibility is not a burden. It's your superpower. It means you're in control. It means that even when life hits hard, through the park you hit back harder. Not because you were carried, but because you stood up on your own. When you stop waiting and start taking charge, running the park, you become the kind of person who doesn't just survive adversity, you conquer it. And in doing so, you inspire others not with your words, but with your will. The second principle, Yi, the harsh truth is a gift. May feel uncomfortable at first, but within it lies profound transformation. We often resist the idea that nobody truly cares about our excuses, our background, or our reasons for not succeeding. It seems cold, even unfair, but this harsh truth is not here to hurt you. It's here to awaken you through the park. When you finally stop seeking validation from others and start accepting that the world won't wait for you, you step into an arena of personal growth that very few are brave enough to enter. The realization that nobody owes you understanding, comfort through the park, or support can feel isolating, but it's also incredibly liberating. Running through it strips away the illusion that your success depends on others noticing your struggle. It shows you that your power does not come from external approval, it comes from within. Many people waste years waiting to be seen, hoping someone will reach out and give them a shortcut. But when you accept that the shortcut doesn't exist, you stop wasting time. The park, you begin to build real strength. That's the gift of the harsh truth. It wakes you up. Most of the time, comfort is the enemy of growth. People who remain in the mindset of "someone should help me" stay stuck in patterns of blame, regret, and dependence. But those who embrace the hard truth stand taller. They begin to take accountability not only for their actions, but for their reactions, mindset, and their growth. When you stop asking, Why is no one helping me? And start declaring, I will help myself. You become unstoppable. The truth may be harsh, but it's also pure. It doesn't sugarcoat reality, and that's why it's powerful. Imagine a life where you are no longer held hostage by the opinions or expectations of others. You wake up and move with purpose, not because someone told you to, but because you've internalized your mission linked through the park. You show up with discipline because you've learned that the world respects results, not intentions. You learn to respect yourself, not for what you plan to do, but for what you actually do day after day. Accepting this truth also removes entitlement. You stop feeling like the world owes you a certain outcome just because you've suffered or tried hard. Life rewards consistency, not emotion. This mindset builds emotional toughness. It helps you stand firm when things go wrong. It helps you keep your head high when nobody is watching. Because you've realized that if the world doesn't care, that's okay too. You do, that's enough. So don't fear the harsh truth. Through the park, embrace it. Let it sharpen your focus, strengthen your resolve, and cleanse you of all mental weakness. When you stop needing the world to care, you free yourself to do what needs to be done. You rise on your own terms. You move because it matters to you. Through the park, that's the gift of truth. It puts your power back in your own hands. The third principle, internal validation is power, is a cornerstone of lasting success and emotional resilience. In a world driven by likes, ring through the park, followers and applause, it's easy to fall into the trap of chasing external approval. People are conditioned to wait for someone to tell them they're good enough, talented enough, or worthy enough. But here's the truth. If your sense of worth depends on the opinions of others, you are handing over control of your life to something you cannot control. The park, the most powerful individuals are those who learn to validate themselves from within. When you build your life around external validation, you live at the mercy of others. One compliment can lift you, and one insult can destroy you. This creates emotional instability. You become an addicted to recognition, needing someone else to affirm your value before you can move forward. But when you shift your focus inward, when your motivation comes from your own principles, your own goals, and your own vision, you become steady. You become grounded. You stop being influenced by temporary praise or criticism. Internal validation isn't about arrogance or ignoring feedback. It's about building a strong core that isn't shaken by the noise around you. It means having a deep, quiet confidence that says, I know who I am, I know what I'm doing through the park, and I don't need applause to keep going. This confidence is earned, not given. It's the result of showing up for yourself, running the park, following through with your promises, and growing through struggle. Each time you overcome a challenge without needing recognition, you reinforce your belief in yourself. Most people wait for motivation. They wait for someone to notice them before they take action. But those who live by internal validation don't wait. They move because they've made a commitment to themselves. They get up early, train hard, stay disciplined, and pursue excellence, not because someone's watching, but because they expect greatness from themselves. Self-respect becomes their driving force. It's not ego, it's alignment with their purpose. When you live by internal standards, your actions become more consistent. You don't rise and fall with public opinion. You don't stop when praise is missing, and you don't quit when others doubt you. You become your own source of strength. And when you finally achieve success, it means more because it wasn't handed to you or based on trends. It was earned through integrity, discipline, and inner conviction. Rule building internal validation starts with small wins. Set goals for yourself and complete them even when no one is watching. Positively to yourself, especially when things Go learn to silence the inner critic with truth, not lies. Over time, running the park, you'll become someone who moves purpose regardless of the environment. That's the real power. When your self-worth is unshakable, your potential becomes limitless. The fourth principle, growth demands discomfort, is a truth and often overlooked in a society that glorifies convenience and instant results. Many people want success, confidence, and mastery, but few are willing to go through the discomfort required to earn them. Discomfort is not a punishment, it's the price of transformation. Every meaningful change in life begins with resistance, struggle, and pain. These are not obstacles to avoid, they are signs that you're on the right path. Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. In comfort, there is safety, predictability, and ease, but there is no challenge. And where there is no challenge, there is no growth. The people who reach their full potential are not those who avoid pain, but those who lean into it. They understand that discomfort is a teacher, not an enemy. It sharpens your focus, builds your discipline, and forges your character. Without struggle, strength cannot be developed. Think about physical training. Muscles only grow when they are pushed beyond their current capacity. If you only lift what's easy through the park, your body doesn't change. The same is true for your mind and your spirit. If you only do what feels good, you will remain emotionally and mentally weak. True growth comes when you keep showing up, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, and even when every part of you wants to quit. There will be times when discomfort feels overwhelming, when the path gets lonely, when the results are slow, and when doubt creeps in. But that is exactly when the growth is happening. Discomfort is the fire that burns away weakness. It is the environment where resilience is born. The more you avoid it, the more you delay your transformation. But the more you embrace it, the more unstoppable you become. Those who fear discomfort stay stuck. Let temporary pain dictate permanent decisions. They run from hard conversations, avoid failure, and stay small because it's easier. But ease never built greatness. The most successful people in the world are those who have learned to become comfortable being uncomfortable. Running through the park, they do what's necessary, not what's easy. They train when they're tired, stay focused when they're discouraged, and push forward when others retreat. The beauty of discomfort is that it always leaves you better than it found you. Strengthens your patience, deepens your humility, and multiplies your wisdom. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes your new baseline. Once intimidated, you now empowers you. Discomfort becomes familiar, and with it, your capacity for growth expands beyond limits. So if you want to grow, stop chasing ease. Seek the struggle that shapes you. Embrace the process that refines you. Stand tall in discomfort through the park, because that is the space where greatness is born. Don't run from the hard path. Walk it with courage. Each painful step is building a version of you that's stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever before. The fifth principle, self-discipline beats motivation, is a foundational truth for anyone seeking real progress. Motivation is powerful. It's also fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather, often influenced by emotions, energy levels, or external events. Many people wait for motivation to strike before they take action, but this is why so many dreams remain unfulfilled. The most successful individuals understand that relying on motivation alone is a trap. What sustains effortlessly when motivation disappears is discipline. Doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. Discipline is a habit. Running the park, it's built through repetition, commitment, and mental strength. You don't become disciplined overnight. If it is something you cultivate through consistent choices. When the alarm rings in the early morning and your body wants to sleep, motivation might not be there. But discipline gets you up When the task ahead seems boring or difficult, motivation may fade. But discipline keeps you focused. The people who win in the long run are not those who act when they feel good. They are those who act no matter what. Discipline means putting long-term goals over short-term comfort. It means choosing growth over pleasure, progress over procrastination. Through the park, it's saying no to distractions and yes to what truly matters. And this choice isn't always glamorous. In fact, it's often quiet and unseen. These quiet acts of consistency are what separate winners from dreamers. Each time you do the hard thing, when no one's watching, when no one is cheering, you are reinforcing a powerful habit. You are training your mind to lead your body, not the other way around the park. People often confuse motivation with discipline. Motivation is emotional, discipline is logical. Motivation asks, do I feel like doing this? Discipline says, it needs to be done, so I'll do it. That difference in mindset creates a gap between those who try and those who triumph. A discipline doesn't ignore emotions, but it doesn't obey them either. It acknowledges doubt, fatigue, fear, but moves forward anyway. Is real strength. The greatest athletes, leaders, and creators didn't rise to the top because they were constantly inspired. They rose because they were constantly disciplined. They built routines. They honored their commitments. They did the boring, hard, and necessary work every single day. That kind of mindset creates unstoppable momentum. Once discipline becomes part of who you are, success is no longer a matter of chance. It becomes a matter of time. To develop self-discipline, start small. Make commitments to yourself and keep them. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now. Show yourself that you can follow through. Over time, your identity begins to shift. You stop being someone who waits and you become someone who acts. Discipline becomes your edge, your secret weapon. While others are waiting for motivation, you're already moving. And that consistency over days, months and years will take you further than any burst of inspiration ever could. The sixth principle, you are the solution, is about reclaiming the power you've always had but may have forgotten. Too often, people fall into the pattern of blaming others, their past, or their environment for why they haven't achieved what they desire. They look outside for answers, waiting for someone to come and fix their problems. But the truth is, no one is coming. No one else can walk your path, make your decisions, or change your life for you. The park. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your future. The moment you accept that, everything begins to shift. Excuses are easy to make. It's easier to say, I can't because of this. Or, if only that hadn't happened, than it is to confront your own role in where you are, running through the park. But every time you blame something outside yourself, you give away a piece of your power. You create a mindset where progress depends on conditions being perfect, and they never will be. The weather won't always be ideal, people won't always be supportive, and your energy won't always be high. That's why waiting is a trap. Ownership is the only way forward. Running park, when you decide to take full responsibility, not just for your actions, but for your reactions, your growth, running through the park, and your future, you stop looking for shortcuts. You stop needing permission. Running through the park, you realize that while you may not control everything that happens to you, you always control how you respond. And in that response lies the seed of transformation. It means replacing why me with what now. It means taking the pain, the failures, and the setbacks and using them as fuel instead of excuses. Being the solution doesn't mean having everything figured out. It means being willing to take action, to learn, and to improve without waiting for the perfect moment. It means looking in the mirror and saying, if I want change, I must create it. That doesn't require external resources. It requires internal resolve. You don't need more time, more money, or more support to start. You need more belief in your ability to begin. You will make mistakes. You will fall short. But that's part of the process. What matters is that you never again place the blame outside yourself, because the more you accept your role, the more control you gain. And with control comes clarity. You start seeing challenges as opportunities. You stop waiting for others to believe in you and begin proving to yourself that you are capable. You are not powerless. You are not broken. And you are certainly not meant to live a life dictated by limitation. Everything you need to rise is already within you. Discipline, courage, intelligence, and strength. But it only activates when you stop pointing outward and start working inward. You are not the problem. You are the solution. And once you start acting like it, there is no obstacle too great, no dream too big, and no future beyond your reach. The principle, change the world by changing yourself, is rooted in one of the most powerful truths of personal transformation. Many people look at the world and feel overwhelmed by its problems. They want to make a difference, fix broken systems, help others rise. But they often forget the most critical starting point, the self. Real change doesn't begin with governments, institutions, or revolutions. It begins in the mirror. The greatest impact you can ever have on the world is through the transformation of your own life. The park, most people spend their energy trying to change things outside of them. Other people's opinions, their circumstances, the way society works. This outer focus creates frustration because you can't force the world to move before you do. When you choose to grow, when you choose discipline, truth, and purpose, your life becomes a message louder than any speech. You begin to influence others, not by preaching, but by leading through example. That's how true change spreads. Quietly, powerfully, from the inside out. When you improve yourself, everything around you begins to shift. Your energy becomes stronger, your mindset becomes clearer, and your actions more intentional. People around you notice, not because you told them to, but because growth is magnetic. You become a source of inspiration, not just through words, but through behavior. Your consistency, your courage to run the park, your focus, they light a path for others to follow. And in this way, you start to change lives just by being who you've become. This isn't just about success. It's about alignment. When you change yourself, you start living in harmony with your values. You stop chasing superficial wins and start seeking meaningful impact. You stop trying to control others and start mastering yourself. This kind of self-leadership is rare, but it is what separates those who talk from those who act. It's what turns intentions into reality. Don't underestimate the ripple effect of your personal growth. When you heal, you break generational patterns. When you choose integrity, you shift the energy of every space you walk into. When you chase excellence, you raise the standard for everyone around you. Your life becomes proof that change is possible. And that inspires others to believe in their own power too. But it all starts with the decision to stop pointing fingers and start doing the work within. It starts when you take responsibility for thoughts, your habits, your time, and your focus. It starts when you stop complaining and start creating. The world doesn't need more critics, it needs more examples. And you have the potential to be that example. So stop asking when the world will change. Start becoming the change. Your transformations speak louder than your frustration. When you rise, others rise with you. And over time, one changed life can lead to thousands more. That's how revolutions begin. Not in noise, but in quiet, consistent, personal evolution. Change yourself and everything changes.